Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with American Manganese CEO and President Larry Reaugh. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Well, Jim, it's always good to talk to you.
What's the latest down there at American Manganese?
Well, I wasn't sure I was going to even make this call today. We had a big due diligence meeting set up for Friday, but something happened internally to the company that was coming, and so we've had to postpone it for a while. So that was a bit of a disappointment, but it'll happen again. I don't know whether it'll be a week or 2 weeks, but it'll happen soon, and we can get on with that due diligence meeting. I was quite encouraged with their attitude going in, so it was what I would consider a top drawer meeting. And now I know there's a lot of people like to see a press release, although we put out probably 10 times more than any other company out there. We haven't put out anything on the pilot plant. Well, we plan on doing an update next week for those that are wondering. And I expect that everybody will be happy with getting a result that tells them we're still progressing. So that's terrific. Now, I know that somebody on the Bow board said I hope I didn't talk about gold, but I'd be remiss not to. It's been the one bright spot in the market, and gold has gone up $120 in the last 30 days. You'd never know it looking at the venture exchange, which is dominated by gold stocks. As they meander, sideways or down, it has to tell you something about the state of what's happening on the venture exchange. And I won't go any further into that because there's certain people on the board that don't like me to talk about predator trading. But, that's a very dominant factor in the market. And if they want to do their own research, they can debate me. So the major thing that's happening with the entire market, Jim, is that we are experiencing a lot more interest this year than we have in previous years. At some point, I will be giving out a number of NDAs that we've signed, and I can't give you the names of the companies. I can give you jurisdictions. But it's a significant amount of companies that we have NDAs with, and I'd like to caution everybody that that's only about a third of the due diligence meetings we've had. The other 2/3, we didn't see at that point. We didn't see them having to sign an NDA. And so we didn't get them to sign an NDA, and because we also get a lot of tire kickers, and but we had some serious meetings on that front too. But we've got some good meetings to look forward to, with at least in 3 or 4 different areas, and we're moving ahead with those. And one thing I'd like everybody to know is that, these things really don't happen overnight. I know that when somebody announces that they've done a deal, it seems like it's overnight. But that deal may have been 2 or 3 years in the making. A good example of that is when we announced our involvement with the DOE and certain labs in the United States that we were part of the initiative for recycling. That was actually two years in the incubator before we announced that. So, things just don't happen that quickly. Certainly if we were if we had came up with a better battery, we would be immediately getting a lot of attention, because that's where the attention's going. It's not the EV cars, it's the battery manufacturing. And now recycling is starting to get more and more prominent. And what I'd like people to know is that they have to remember that what we're doing is, first and foremost, is that we're doing things to save the environment. We've come up with a circular economy. We have got no waste going back into the environment. We have a method that's patented to deal with the toxic batteries from EV cars or handheld devices or cell phones, any of those types. And, I never mention it, but there's all kinds of rechargeable batteries in your power tools and lawnmowers, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. So you can see that there's a great demand for the metals that make up these batteries. We're seeing, the slip sliding of the price of cobalt, the price of lithium, and nickel's not going anywhere. But in a sense, it doesn't make sense because there's a shortage of the materials, and yet, the prices keep going down on the metals. So that's disturbing. And but I don't see these things as long term. I look at a country like India that's talking about building 50 megawatts of battery production, EV battery production, and that's huge. And that's a company that's emerging that has a large population, and but they're getting very aggressive about dealing with the EV cars, which results in dealing with the batteries, which results, of course, eventually it results in recycling. So, yeah, I'm ending the week on a good point. I'm sure that we could see a press release in the next few days and an updating of everything that's happening and results that have happened to date. So we can always look forward to that. And I wish everybody a good weekend.
Larry, where are you traded, and how can people get more information about American Manganese?
We're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. We're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. And you can get all the information you need from our website because we're very transparent, and that website is AmericanManganeseInc.com. Our new process is called Recyclical. You can also Google that and find lots of information in there. So you can also phone us at 778-574-4444, or you can send me an email at lreaugh@amymn.com.
Larry, thanks for the update.
You're welcome.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on June 21st.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.